Hi guys, welcome back to my videos. I can't say channel yet. To all my faithful 2 followers, we are here with Nani. Say hi, Nani.
Hi, Mommy.
And I just feel like I have to make this video. We are by the water.
Quiet.
We are by the water enjoying the view. It is very cold. It's not that cold, guys. It's like 50. And we're just hanging out, right, Nani? So I decided to make this video because I feel like it's long overdue. I had to get myself in order before I made this video. So it's exactly the video we're gonna make, Nani. Yep. So exactly what she said. I am just gonna go over with you guys my yep, that's exactly what it is. Yup. My crazy COVID story and how I survive or am surviving, and kind of everything that I've experienced along the way, and what I think someone else who's in my shoes or who's gone through it should know. So everybody who doesn't know, I am a nurse. What, baby? I see that.
Hey, Mama.
Yeah, Moana. Don't know, I am a nurse, an LPN, still a nurse. I am a mother of 7, and I was working kind of during the pandemic, definitely during the pandemic last year, but I still feel like I didn't work like the bulk of it. I feel like I worked like maybe like the easy side. So I started working in the nursing home, and I was enjoying it. I was loving it. I was having so much fun. I was working so many crazy hours, and we were really short. COVID was still very heavy. We were still quarantining. I just kept saying, I'm not gonna get sick. Like, God got me, I'm not gonna get sick. I was wearing my mask, all my PPE, everything I needed to wear, and even then I got sick in December. I was at work, and I remember that I had worked like 3 doubles back to back. I think I had like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday I always take off because I don't work Sundays. Excuse me. And then Monday I was at work and I just couldn't breathe, but I was doing a double, so I was like, I'm exhausted, I'm tired, like these 16-hour days are long, like maybe that's just why I'm having trouble. And then my patients were like, are you okay? Or like, you sound a little off. And I'm like, no, I'm fine. I need my coffee. I just kept saying that. I need my coffee. And then later that day I ended up in the emergency room. I couldn't breathe. And I remember the doctor that came in, she didn't even like check me. I'm like hawking up along, like everything's like spewing out. It was just disgusting. And she's like, yeah, you have COVID. And I'm like, no, you didn't check me. She's like, yeah, it's COVID. I've seen this. It's COVID. Yeah, it's COVID. Take your inhaler and then go home and then quarantine. And I was like, that's it? Like, yeah. She's like, yeah, it's COVID. Just be careful. And I'm like, I think at that point they were just so fed up with everything with COVID, and they had so many people that they were just getting them in and out. My vitals were fine. I wasn't in complete distress besides that little moment. And so they sent me home. I was shocked. I cried like a baby because, you know, at that point everyone knew that COVID was like death or something like that. So my kids, I was just with them. I was hugging them. And I just didn't want them to get sick. I didn't want anything to happen to them. And so it was very scary and traumatic for me. The way we isolated is I stayed in my room for the 2 weeks. They said 10 days, but I did the 14 days just because I didn't feel better. Like, I could not feel better. I felt like I couldn't breathe. I was having shortness of breath. My heart rate was like over 115. It was like crazy. So I was like in bed most of the time. I feel like my taste was a little off, but I didn't lose it completely, and I didn't lose my sense of smell. But I just felt really weak. I just didn't feel like myself. I could barely walk to the bathroom. So I did a lot of staying in bed and things like that. And so this happened in mid-December, and then by Christmas time I was kind of ready to be out of quarantine, but I wasn't quite ready to go back to work. I wasn't quite ready to go back to work, and I I remember my job kept calling me like, are you ready? How are you feeling? Like, are you feeling good? And I'm like, I just don't feel right. Like, I don't know why I'm not 100%. And most people are like, oh, you'll be 2 weeks and then you'll be fine. And then you go back to work. And it's like, I'm great. That was not me at all. And I remember this was early January, like the first week, I started passing out. This was just one day that I just didn't feel myself. I thought I was getting better, but then I started passing out like crazy and like back to back. And my husband's like smacking me up, like, wake up. And it was just, nah. What, baby?
He's hot.
It's hot. Oh, she's giving him a hug. So I was just like passing out like crazy. And I remember telling my husband, I'm like, call 911. Like, this is not me. This is not normal. This is not what I'm used to. This is not my normal passing out. I need you to call 911. And he was like, oh, it's okay. Just take a warm shower. You'll be fine. I'm like, no, I am not okay. I am gonna die. I was like, I'm gonna die. And he's like, it's okay, I'll turn on the water for you. So I like grab my phone and I'm like dying. I'm like, help me, somebody help me. Those paramedics are probably like, what the heck is wrong with this girl? So I was like passing out as I'm on the phone. So my husband took over. They come over, they bring me to the hospital. I'm up, I'm doing a little better. Get to the hospital and an ultrasound, they do my abdomen. It's just like I'm having a lot of pain. I'm having trouble breathing, but it's not so bad, and I'm just not myself. And then they find a large blood clot. They said it was a COVID clot. At this time, it wasn't really known that COVID caused clots, so it was very new to me. I was very scared. I think the hardest thing was just having to leave my kids home and not being able to go home. But they instantly put me on heparin. I was taking IV. It was like a blood thinner. I was on that, and I stayed in the hospital for about a week. They had to do all these tests. I was just not feeling well. I was not myself. I have some pictures of my in the hospital. So while I was in the hospital, I had like this moment of weakness. Not okay. So I was feeling really weak. I had this moment where I went limp. Like I completely went limp. I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't call the nurses at the call bell. I felt like it was forever, but it really was a few minutes. I just completely shut down. I was like in the chair and I was like limping, and I was very nervous. Very, very scary. The nurse came in with the aide, and then they came and put me back in bed, and she's like, are you okay? I was like, I just need to sleep. I don't know. I'm okay. I'm that type of person that I would be like, I'm okay. I'm dying, but I'm okay. And we didn't think anything of it. We just let it go, move on. And then I couldn't come up with the words. I had a lot of brain fog. They call it COVID brain fog. And I couldn't come up with the words. I was like stressed. I was crying. I was like so maybe it was just because I was stressed. But she said, you don't sound okay. Like you sound very off. So there was this COVID specialist that they referred me to see. He was amazing. I have to say thank you to him and his team, because if it wasn't for them, I would not be talking the way I am or walking and moving my hands the way I have been. So right after I was discharged, I went to them, and they kind of noticed that, it seems like you had a stroke. And it's really odd for someone to say it seems like it when you don't know, if you didn't experience. But sometimes when you have like minor strokes, I guess it can happen. With COVID, because it can cause some kind of swelling, it can cause some kind of brain damage and things like that. So it can be a stroke or stroke symptoms. I don't know exactly. I guess I will never know. But they said I had a stroke. My whole right side was just shot. So I got a lazy eye. Is this one or this one? I don't know. Anyways, my whole right side was shot. I was walking with a limp. I couldn't write with my right hand. I was writing with my left hand. And I remember I was filling out the paperwork, and it said, are you lefty or righty? And I put righty, and I'm like, I'm a righty, but I'm writing with my left hand. And they're like, oh, are you writing with your left? I'm like, I just can't hold, I couldn't hold the pen. Everything was heavy. It was just not a good time. And so they got me right into therapy, physical therapy, occupational therapy. I stayed in the rehab there, outpatient rehab, for about 3 weeks. Just about. I was ready to go home. I just wanted to be home. I was just in the hospital, and then I had to be there. And they were amazing. Like, I don't think I can ever thank them enough for everything that they've done for me, because I would have not been here today. Like, and if I would have, I just wouldn't look the way I look, and I wouldn't be the way I am. And this whole experience has changed me, has changed my mind, has changed my thought process. Physically, it took a few weeks, a few months. I didn't finish up therapy until July of this year, and this all happened in January. So it did take me a few months to recover. And then graciously, COVID also left me with PTSD. It's all new to me. I don't really know why. I mean, no, I don't think anyone knows why. I mean, I wasn't in a war. I didn't die. I wasn't on a ventilator, but it was just so traumatic to have my kids go through that, and myself, and I just felt so alone, and I just felt like, how am I going to survive this? I'm not going to be okay. And so when I tried to go back to work was where I really had my panic attacks and anxiety come in. Like, I was freaking out at the door, I was driving off the exit, and I was like, it was crazy. I couldn't drive for months, and that was like a big thing for me because I'm so independent and I'm used to going here. I don't like people driving me around. I don't like waiting for anyone. I like to just get up and go, and having to wait for someone to take me here and there and pick me up, it was just very frustrating, and a very, very stressful time. And I didn't think I would come out of it the way I have. I still have a lot of issues and some memory things that I'm working with. I'm in therapy for the PTSD and all that. I think the hardest thing for me was when my kids, after like a few months after I took my kids to my dentist, and I remember him saying, one of my daughters, he's like, wow, your mom went through so much, you guys are here, you're okay, like that's crazy. And then my daughter says to him, yeah, we really had to grow up. Now my daughter was like 9 at the time, and you know, just hearing that she felt like she had to grow up because I was sick was really hard for me, because it's like, you're the mom, you're supposed to be like their strong person and their go-to, and I couldn't be that. I couldn't be someone that they go to because I was sitting here drowning myself. And did an amazing job. He took very, very good care of them, but that's a lot, being sick, having to take care of 7 kids, having to take time off of work to take care of a sick spouse. It can be very challenging, and if you already have issues and things like that, it can just weigh a lot on everything. So that's my COVID story. I'm still trying to get past it and hopefully move on. I still wear my mask like crazy, even if people say you don't have to. I still sanitize. I still get nervous at work. You know, I just feel like this has just been a big deal. If someone has gone through it, then I'm happy that you made it out. I am beyond grateful that I'm alive and I have the opportunity to share my story and hopefully shed light that COVID is not just a cold. It's not fake. It's very real. It does a lot of damage. It comes and goes, but then what it leaves behind is just a mess. It's like a tornado. It just comes, wipes you out, and then everything left is just horrible. But we can recover, we can get over it, we can be better, we can survive, and we just have to kind of live every day and like it's our last, because this life is hard. If you're gone through it, or if you're going through it, I feel like COVID is kind of calming down. People aren't so scared anymore. It's not like so scary, but it was very scary in the moment. I feel like there's a lot of trauma that people have gone through, even with just isolating at home and quarantining. So hopefully you guys can see my video, see my story, and know that you can survive. Because if I did it with 7 and I pushed myself and I had just blessings upon blessings, then you can too. I'm no one special. I'm no one big or anything. I'm just an ordinary Joe Schmo and Vicky Icky, and if I can survive it, you can too. So I just thought I should share that with you guys. So that's it. I will see you guys in my next video. If you have any questions, let me know, and I will see if I can answer them. My 2 followers. And I will see you guys later. Bye. Say bye, Nani.